Such a great line. You know what they say? Wood don't grow on trees. It's perfect.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Coffee and Contemplation. This is episode 51. If you missed episode 50, we discussed Legend of Korra, episode 1. And today we are going to discuss the 1994 classic, The Little Rascals. I am Cameron, and with me, as always, Brent Schaefer.
How we doing, Cam?
Doing good.
Doing good, dude. What a fun movie.
Yes.
That we chose to pick. That we picked to watch this week.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome. So when did you first see Little Rascals?
Probably when I was 3rd grade, 4th grade.
So little kid.
Little kid.
Definitely.
Sure.
Dude, I remember I was probably a similar age, but I watched this movie so many times as a kid. And I remember it being like so much fun and just making me like so happy inside watching it. And I was wondering if watching it now as a 25-year-old, how it was going to make me feel. And it makes me feel the same way I did when I was a kid, dude. It's such a fun, great movie. And I didn't even appreciate how good the writing is, like the banter back and forth between the characters, until like now that I'm like older and can actually understand that, like how that works and everything. Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's such a great movie, dude.
I always forget that the bank guy, like the bank loan guy, is not Mel Gibson.
Is it somebody famous?
Yeah, he's in Spaceballs. He's in.
Oh, I didn't recognize him. The guy who when he's like, "What's your bank number?" And he's like, 7.
Try 8.
That's right, 8. You guys want to take a seat? Can we sit down? Are you kidding? Yeah. We cannot sit, my good sir. Absolutely fantastic.
We would like to take out a hefty loan.
Yeah. Try 8.
So good.
Fantastic. Just the back and forth the entire movie. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, I don't know who the bank teller was. But while we're talking about cameos in the movie, we can skip ahead to the end of the movie when Mr. Donald
Brooks.
Really? Oh my god, I didn't catch that at all. Crazy. That's awesome, dude.
If you were my kids, I'd punish you.
Yeah.
If
we were your kids, we'd punish ourselves.
Leave the British premises.
Yeah. Fantastic, dude. Donald Trump is in this movie as well. I had no idea. Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg. And I don't know who she is, but the girl who plays the driver is a famous actress as well, or singer maybe. A lot of cameos in this movie, dude. It's great. Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen, who are sisters with Reba, that's right. Who are sisters with Elizabeth Olsen, are in this movie as well. Although sadly Elizabeth Olsen is not in this movie, unfortunately. Cam, tell me your thoughts on the movie, how it held up to you. I loved that it's only an hour and 15 minutes, but it's quality the entire time.
Yeah. Every line, I probably know that movie line for line.
Dude, right? I haven't seen that movie in probably 10 years, and I'm still like, I know like the story, what's going to happen next, the classic lines, like, quick, what's the number for 911?
How am I supposed to know?
Yeah, and they pick up the thing, and like, what does it say? And then they pick it up and read it, and they're like, I wish we knew how to read.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's
I gotta
classic.
learn how to read.
That's what it is. I gotta learn how to read. Lines like that will never die.
And then, just like you were saying, the banter back and forth between like even the adults and the kids and everything.
Yeah,
like,
fantastic.
The way they raised money too was like such a mistake, but worked so well.
Oh my god, it worked really well. So first they tried with the 4'3" man-eating chicken. Dude, little me, big me. That's hilarious. I laughed so hard during that scene when I was a little kid, man. And like the kid who's eating the chicken just looks so happy. He's like, yeah.
They don't get any money, and then they find an admission like sign.
We just put the sign up, and people started giving us money. Fantastic.
Money.
Yeah. Why don't you guys go take a break, and I'll take over this. I love to when I just totally lost my train of thought. I don't know. Never mind.
Okay.
Skip over it.
I love that it's like the He-Man woman hating club.
Yep. I couldn't remember what the club was called, but that's such a perfect name.
And they don't let those 2 bullies in.
Yeah, he's I forgot about that. The little handshake or the little symbol they do too.
Yeah, it's so funny because those kids, the bullies, like definitely know what it is because they watch them every single time they go in, but they don't let them in.
I felt almost bad for the bullies in a way, and let me explain why. They're obviously rude and they're bullies, right? But I think in general, they just want to be part of the club.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like if the kids were like, hey, come be part of our club, the boys would be like, all right, we're not going to beat you up all the time now. You know what I mean? And I never really caught that when I was younger.
Yeah.
I was always like, these kids suck, bro.
Yeah, it's funny when Alfalfa punches the black-haired kid.
Yeah, which I totally forgot happened. Yeah.
Into like the pig.
Yeah, let's call it manure. It's not, but it is.
And then the redhead one just is. He jumps in. He's like, "Allow me."
Yeah, allow me. Yeah, that was so cool because he's like, "I'm more of a lover than a fighter, but sometimes you don't have a choice or something like that." Yeah. Or he's like, "But this time I'll make an exception or something." And then he wrecks him, dude. I forgot how hard he wrecked him.
Yeah.
I want to talk for a second about the main story in the movie is how they're the He-Man Woman Haters Club, but Alfalfa, who is best friends with the president of the club, Spanky, is not a woman hater. He's actually a woman lover. He even says that at the end of the movie. He's like, I'm not a woman hater, I'm a woman lover. Or maybe he says that at the talent show.
I think it's at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Because he says, I know you like girls, pal, but rules are rules.
Oh, yeah, but rules are rules. Yeah. Where was I going with that?
I don't know.
Dude.
I ain't in your head.
Apparently I'm not even in my head either because I'm falling apart over here. I totally had a poignant point to make, and it's just gone forever. Okay. What was I saying before? So he's best friends, right, with the president, Alfalfa and Spanky. I was talking about Darla. Darla, that's right. Okay, so the whole point of the movie is that they're the Woman Haters Club, but he wants to be with Darla, so it causes turmoil, right? Dude, I did not realize until watching the movie this time that Darla's kind of a psychopath, and like extremely so, because just because she gets a little bit slighted by Alfalfa, not really, it's really the friends that cause the rift. She burns their clubhouse down.
She doesn't mean to.
But listen, while it's burning down, she just sits there and just like admires her work. And I was like, dude, she's a freaking psychopath. And yes, she doesn't mean to burn it down, but she just sits there like twiddling her thumbs, looking so proud of herself.
I don't even think she's the one that does it. I think it's when Alfalfa like folds the candles up into the cabinet.
Oh, you might be right. You might be right. I just remembered because, but she has to do something because when he opens the door to check what's like, because they see smoke or whatever, he's like, Darla.
She takes the blur.
She takes the car. That's right. Okay. So she didn't burn it down. Because I was like, damn, she just burns it down and she's just sitting there and she's like happy. And I was like, oh my God, psychopath alert.
Yeah. And then
but it's not it's not quite as bad as I thought it was.
Yeah. She like gives him his ring back too, and she's like, tell him when he comes to, guys.
That's true. Yeah. I never want to see you again. That's true.
And then the oily kid comes in.
Yeah, that's such a good line too when Alfalfa rips him. The kid says something and my father just bought the oil refinery.
That explains why you're so oily.
Well, Darla says that explains why you're so refined. And then Alfalfa's like, and oily. He's like, hey, watch it, bub. Yep. Oh, it's fantastic. That's what I'm saying. The writing is awesome, dude. It's great. This movie also has two of the best plot twists in movie history.
Okay.
Right? Number one being the driver. I forgot the driver's name, AJ something. They think it's a guy the whole time. Turns out it's a woman. That's the whole point. AJ Ferguson, thank you.
Be presented by AJ Ferguson.
It's awesome, dude. Who they think is a guy, and then they find out she's a woman, obviously, Reba. But the other classic plot twist that I forgot this was a thing too is that can talk.
There's another one too.
He can talk real well. He's like, I actually have a very distinct vocabulary. He says all these things, and I was like, damn. Yeah. He's like, I just choose not to utilize it. And I was like, okay, Yeah. What's the other plot twist?
That Darla was actually the driver.
Darla, dude, this movie is just plot twist all over. This might be the best written movie of all time, dude. Aaron Sorkin write this movie? What the hell is going on? Yeah, that was awesome because you think it's Oily Kid's name. I don't remember. His name's not worth remembering. Let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen.
He's a big old jerk face.
He is a big old jerk face. And I thought, I don't know if I said this on the episode or if it was before we were recording, but I thought in my memory it was Macaulay Culkin. It's not, but he looks very similar to Macaulay Culkin. And it was like the same. Waldo. What a terrible name, too. So that's when you see Donald Trump in the movie, he calls his dad. And his dad's like, Waldo, you're the best son that money can buy. He's like, thanks, Dad. It's like, oh my God, is that Donald Trump? who did not age well, by the way, because he looked all right in 1994. Not so much in 2020, but that's okay.
A lot of spray tan does that to you.
A lot of spray tan and then 14 Diet Cokes a day.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it's Diet Pepsi, but either way.
It's Diet Coke.
Diet Coke, definitely. And all that Mickey D's, Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
Did you get the reference?
Yes, I did.
If you guys get that at home, I'm proud of each and every one of you, because that's an obscure reference, but that's a fun one. Oh, dude, I also forgot, like, in the very beginning of the movie when they hit the ball, and it's like, oh, you don't have a glove, or whatever they're saying. And he's like, don't worry, I got it, and he catches it with the top hat. It's the greatest baseball catch of all time, probably. I should have made ESPN's top 10 of all time.
I'm sure it did.
Probably did. Who are some of, like, besides obviously Alfalfa and Spanky, who are like the main characters in the movie besides Darla and Waldo, who are like some of your favorite characters from the He-Man Woman Haters Club?
I love Buckwheat.
Yeah, Buckwheat's hilarious. Yeah. I like, what's the kid's name with the glasses who talks like this?
Porky.
Porky's...
Oh, no, that's Froggy.
Froggy, that's right. Froggy's fun, too. I feel bad for Froggy because his voice, he sounds like Steve-O.
I whipped out my lizard.
Yeah, he sounds like Steve-O, dude. Like, just like instantly recognizable voice. Maybe not in the best way, but hey, it works out for him. You know what I mean?
But yeah, it's Buckwheat and Porky are the two that like are fishing and everything.
Yeah. Is that Whoopi Goldberg's son? Because he looks. Yeah, he looks a lot like Whoopi Goldberg. With the hair and everything.
It's Ross Bagley. I don't think it's.
Okay, but like he has like the same hair and everything as Whoopi does. Mm-hmm. Also, shout out to Whoopi Goldberg, dude. Whoopi Goldberg's awesome.
Oh, he's in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
No way. Who does?
Nikki Banks.
Nikki Banks. Oh my God, the kid. The kid. He plays a little kid in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Yeah, right there.
This guy.
That's crazy, dude. I'd never even realized that was the same kid.
Yep.
Wow, you're kind of blowing my mind right now. Nikki's in the show he's like in there for like 3 seasons too. That's awesome. I never realized that. That's cool.
And then Waldo is in Full House also. He's one of Michelle's like friends later in the show.
Oh yeah, huh? Okay, that's cool. That makes sense. Why then probably that Mary Kate and Ashley were in the movie as well. Yep. That's cool, man. So it's a typical '90s movie. You know what I mean? All the '90s famous people are in it. Sorry, I was trying to set that down quietly. Okay. It did not go that great. What do you think about the talent show scene?
It's pretty good.
Pretty great. So I love when it's Waldo and Darla. Mm-hmm. Dude, it's such a throwaway line, but they go on stage and the dude's wearing like a 3-piece suit, awesome suit. He's whited out, and just some guy in the background's like, "Nice suit, kid." Cracked me up for some reason. Okay. Hilarious. I don't know why, dude. So small, but it made me laugh so hard. And I mean, when I was watching it this morning, like it cracked me up. And then obviously Alfalfa comes out and makes a fool and makes a fool out of himself. But it's all for love, Cam. Mm-hmm. It's all for love. Do you think Alfalfa and Darla are gonna get married?
Yeah.
Even though Darla's a little bit of an opportunist. A little, you know what I mean? Because the second Alfalfa starts messing up and this new guy walks into town, Darla's like, I'm gonna go walk. Oh, he's got money? Okay, I'm gonna go walk over here. He owns an oil refinery. Let's do it.
I forget that he falls in the pool.
Yeah, with his and then she goes, "Oh, Alfalfa, this is a side of you I've never seen before," because he's totally naked. Great writing, so good. And then they're just giggling at him while sipping on like virgin margaritas or something, daiquiris or whatever.
Yeah, maybe pina coladas.
Maybe that's what it was, pina coladas.
It had an umbrella in it.
But I was like, dude, this like third grader guy Waldo is living the high life in third grade. I like him as a character just because he's such a well written, just bad guy.
Yeah, he's like an anti-character.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's a nice obstacle to get in the way. But that's what I didn't realize. I remember this movie just being like fun and kind of silly and stupid, but it's actually like, it's written well and the banter between the characters is great. And the story's awesome. I forgot that the bullies enter into the race as well. They steal the car.
Steal the blur, and they gotta make their own car.
Let's talk about, because that's kind of how the movie ends. Like kind of the culmination of everything, the climax. The race is fun. The race is really well filmed. I forgot that they like flip the signs.
Yeah.
And have them go the wrong ways and stuff. Yeah, whoopsie. Yeah, it's really cool. I love I don't remember if they named it or not, but I love the new cart.
They just called it the Blur 2.
The Blur 2, that's right. That the He-Man Woman Club. He-Man Woman Haters Club. That's a mouthful, dude. I love how they make that.
A club is a club.
You don't need a clubhouse. Yeah. A club is about meetings or something like that. You don't need a clubhouse. Yeah. There was also like the overall like idea of the movie is hilarious too because I remember, dude, like totally. I remember being in like second and third grade and just not caring at all about girls. Like I just need my bros. That's all I need. We'll go play Pokemon, whatever it is, you know. But like, and that's totally how you are at that age. But Alfalfa is a little ladies' man, dude. He is well matured beyond any of them.
There's a little ear thing to win Darla over.
Oh, it's also super funny. It's like it's total innuendo that I missed when I was a little kid, obviously. But when Darla kisses him on the cheek, his Alfalfa like his like cowlick springs up, and I was like, oh, that's great. But then at the end, they all realize like, oh, girls are like important and stuff. Even when the female racer, kisses Spanky on the cheek, he's like, oh, why don't we go ahead and make it even and give me one on the other side? It's great, dude. It's fantastic.
But yeah, the kids are like driving through the grocery store parking lot.
Yep.
And they like run all those people over, and one of them says, "You little rascals."
Yeah, I wondered when he said that. I was like, I wonder if they knew the title of the movie before that.
It was based off a show back in like the 70s. So
oh, was it really? Oh, I actually had no idea about that. Oh, that's cool. Do you know if the show has like a similar storyline to the movie at all?
I think so.
Really? That's cool. I didn't know that, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love like little facts like that.
Yeah.
You're everything I wanted. You're everything I need.
Yeah, the Little Rascals TV series was in 1955.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. It definitely, it's funny that you say that because even watching this movie, I got like a 50s vibe just with the way that like the stereotypes, like the way the kids are acting, and it just felt kind of like a 50s style. So that totally makes sense. That's cool. Black and white probably too, huh? Does it say how long it was on for?
They only have one person on the cast.
Oh, no.
It just says orphan.
Oh, my God. Oh, no. Very different kind of Little Rascals movie. Or show. That's crazy. I didn't know that. I also wonder... I didn't look who the director was of this movie, but is it a director that we know? Oh, uh-oh.
Penelope Spheris.
I don't know. I don't know that name, unfortunately. I feel like she's probably done a lot of kids' movies.
She did Suburbia, The Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh, I've seen Beverly Hillbillies. It's a great movie.
Balls to the Wall, Kid and I, Cracking Up. Not a lot of good movies. Or I guess they might. Oh, she did Black Sheep.
I don't know what that is.
That's David Spade and
Chris Farley. I love Tommy Boy, but I've never seen Black Sheep.
Yeah, it's basically that kind of.
Yeah, I've heard it's like very similar kind of humor.
Yeah, a candidate hires a wormy special assistant whose only job is to make sure the candidate's well-meaning is incompetent, but the incompetent brother doesn't ruin the election.
No, interesting.
So like Chris Farley plays a brother that messes up all the time.
Yeah.
And then
that sounds like a Chris Farley character.
Yeah. And then I think Chris Farley is the one that makes sure that he doesn't mess up the election.
Okay, gotcha. Cool. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because whenever I talk about Tommy Boy, people are like, "Have you seen Black Sheep?" I've never seen it.
Yeah. I've never seen it either, but
okay.
I knew what it was.
Gotcha.
I've heard of it.
Have you seen Tommy Boy?
Yes.
Yeah, fantastic movie. Yeah, so like it's funny because we're starting our 90s segment. Probably maybe do 3 or 4 movies in the 90s and then switch decades is kind of what we were thinking. But I think Little Rascals was a fantastic place to start.
Yeah.
Because it definitely felt like a carefree 90s movie. So it would be interesting to switch then, because it's definitely a kids movie, although it's still fun to watch as adults. I think it would be very interesting to switch to a more, I don't want to say an intense 90s movie, but like maybe pick like a movie from like 1995 that still feels like a 90s movie but isn't a kids movie. You know what I'm saying?
Is Rain Man a 90s movie?
That's probably late 80s or early 90s. That's a great movie though.
1988.
Oh, close. Yeah, I figured it was close. I'm trying to think of like what a good. Well, you just watched Pulp Fiction. We could do Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. Goodfellas also is 1990.
Oh, Goodfellas is great. Yeah.
Pulp Fiction's so good.
Yeah, isn't it? You finished it? Oh, dude, it's amazing. I love it. That's why when I first started listening to Zed's Dead, I was like, oh, that's such a cool name. I didn't think I'd like their music so much, but I just started listening for the name. I was like, oh, dude, that's sweet.
I didn't know that it like ended with how it started.
Yeah, crazy. A lot of his movies are told in a non-linear way. Like, have you ever seen the Kill Bill movies?
Mm-mm.
They're made very out of order, but you don't realize you're watching it out of order until it like wraps away in the end like that. So I love when movies do that because you're like, oh, this is different. What gave it away? The fact that Vincent comes back?
Yes.
Yeah. You're like, oh, wait a second. Yeah, we could do Pulp Fiction next week.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it. But it would just be interesting to be like, okay, this is a very similar
Have you
era.
seen Jackie Brown?
Oh yeah, I've seen Jackie Brown.
You can do that one. I've never seen that one.
It's I'll tell you what, it's good, but it's not. It's definitely one of his like lower tier movies.
I've heard that one and Volume 2 of Kill Bill.
Yeah, not a big Volume 2 fan.
And what's the one that has Box in the name?
Box. Box. Box is in the title?
I think so.
Box. Oh, Death Proof.
Death Proof.
Death Proof.
No,
Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah, that one's all right. I think definitely Jackie Brown, Kill Bill Volume 2, Death Proof, Dusk Till Dawn are probably the lesser ones, and then all of his other movies are like impossibly good.
True Romance was his first one, right?
I think he wrote that, but I don't think he directed it.
Okay. Reservoir Dogs was 92.
Reservoir Dogs is fantastic.
Pulp Fiction 94.
Yep. Okay,
Dusk
so
Till Dawn.
we could do Pulp Fiction just because it's the same year as
Yeah.
Little Rascals. So we could be like, it's interesting that these movies came out in the same year, but
Yeah.
they're so different from each
Yeah.
other. And I think Pulp Fiction does a good job of capturing still that 90s feel. Real quick, let's go off on just a quick tangent. So which Tarantino movies have you not seen?
Jackie Brown.
Okay.
Dusk Till Dawn.
Okay. You're really not missing too much there so far.
And then Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs is pretty much a must-watch. Jackie Brown's good. It's a fun movie to watch. I just don't think
I just saw it on HBO Max.
Yeah, it's definitely, like, I enjoyed it when I watched it, but I'll find myself randomly being like, oh, I want to watch Kill Bill or I want to watch Inglourious Bastards. I'm never really like, oh, I want to watch Jackie Brown.
Okay.
Have you ever seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yes. So I've seen Pulp Fiction, Once
Yep.
Upon a Time in Hollywood, Django, Inglourious Bastards, Hateful Eight.
What a list of movies. Are you kidding me? Quentin Tarantino?
But yeah, I haven't seen Death Proof, Dusk Till Dawn, any of the Kill Bills, or Jackie Brown, or Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah. So I think the only one that you haven't seen that you really should, you didn't see, you said Kill Bill you haven't seen? I'd say Kill Bill Volume 1 and Reservoir Dogs. Yeah, those are both pretty much must-watch movies. But the other ones, you're not missing too much.
Yeah, I told you about, I think I told you about like the Tarantino movie universe, like they're all connected.
They're all connected, yeah. And you said, I think you told me this before, but isn't Django your favorite one?
Django is my
Yeah,
favorite. I think it goes Django, Inglourious Bastards, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, Inglourious Bastards was my favorite, and in all honesty, probably still is.
It might be.
But then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood came along, and I had like a weird obsession with that movie.
It might be.
Like a weird.
Yeah, it might be Django, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, then Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah, I think those are definitely the top three. Well, it's hard because I might like Pulp Fiction more than I like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I don't know.
Doubt it.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's weird because
that one's told pretty linear.
That one's very linear, yeah, and it's fun. It's interesting because it's only over the course of 2 days, but it feels like it's so much longer.
But that's because it shows like it's not over the course of 2 days.
It is.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but
Oh,
it
yeah.
goes to Europe and everything.
Okay, well the core of the movie is over 2 days, and then it skips to 6 months later for the final night.
Oh,
But it's
I
the whole bulk of the movie is over the course of
when
2
he's
days.
doing the movie.
When he's doing the movie, exactly.
Or the show. I think
Yeah,
he's
and then
doing the show.
yeah, he's doing that crime show or that whatever
Western
it is.
show.
Yeah, it is a show. I forgot what it's called. Lancer.
Lancer. Yeah.
Lancer.
Is,
So there's like the whole movie's those 2 days of him filming, and then the days in the life of Cliff Booth, and then it skips to the 6 months, and then the final night. So it's 2.5 days basically. Besides that skip, but that's why it's so interesting. You don't see a lot of movies like that. But I feel like I don't. This is gonna be. I don't even know how to put this into words, right? But like when you talk about Inglourious Bastards,
that's linear and non-linear. I feel like.
yeah, that one jumps around a lot, but it also has like a main thing. but I feel like I like Inglourious Bastards better as a movie than Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But I never watched Inglourious Bastards 6 times in a row. Like I never did, but I did that with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So it's weird because I don't even know as far as the story goes. I don't think it's in my top 3 Tarantino movies. But also at the same time, I was more obsessed with it than any Tarantino movie. It's weird. It's in a weird place. It's because like as far as like my favorites, I feel like
Also,
the top 3 are Inglourious.
He sucks as an actor.
Quentin Tarantino? Oh, he's terrible. He's terrible, dude.
His whole thing is Jimmy. No?
Yeah.
Oh, he's trying way too hard.
He's trying so hard. It's so funny. I love when directors put themselves in movies and you're like, bro, you can't act. Like M. Night Shyamalan, dude cannot act. He can write and direct the hell out of a movie. Dude can't act though, and he always puts himself in roles.
Shut up about the coffee. I know how good it is because I bought it. It's not shit. I was like,
dude, doesn't he kind of sound like Donald Trump?
A little.
A little bit.
Yeah.
The way he talks with like broken speech or whatever. Luckily, he's not in too many of his other movies with like actual speaking roles.
Yeah, he's in Django, but he just gets the gun and gives it to Django,
and then gets blown up. Yeah, I thought that was awesome because I was like, oh, he killed himself in the movie. Like that's so cool. But that's the thing. I think as far as like actually like as far as enjoyment, I think Django, Inglourious Bastards, and Pulp Fiction, the story is so much better than Once Upon a Time in Hollywood because it's not a crazy good story, but just the way the movie looks. I think it's just the look and the feel and the soundtrack is the hugest part probably. That's probably why I saw it so many times. But dude, I would love to do Pulp Fiction next week.
Yeah. Okay.
If you couldn't tell, I love Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
A lot.
That was one of our very first episodes, so if you guys want to listen to that, we discussed characters and the movies.
Yeah,
it's
that
like
was
episode 10.
Yeah, that was way back. I was gonna say that was when the format of the show was completely different.
Yeah, we didn't have a mixer. I sat here. You sat way over there.
Yep. Yeah, we were doing the 6 feet quarantine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the episode. Wasn't the topic? We just talked about our favorite characters from movies.
We did favorite characters from Quentin Tarantino.
Just from Quentin Tarantino. That's right. God, that feels like a lifetime ago. We've been in this show for a while, dude. We're coming up on a year. Although,
and it's crazy because Christoph Waltz was in both of his characters were in my top 5.
And it's funny because they're so different. One's the bad guy in the movie, and the other one's a very good guy. You like Dr. Schultz better than...
I like Dr. Schultz better than...
oh, God, I'm not going to... It's going to bother me so bad.
The Jew Hunter.
It's bothering me that I can't remember his name, but yeah, Hans Landa.
Hans Landa.
Yeah, such a cool name. Dude, that feels like such a lifetime ago. So we are coming up on a year of recording. But it's getting a little weird now because now we're posting 2 episodes a week, and our hosting service that hosts our podcast, you can't do like episode 49 part 1, episode 49 part 2. For some reason, it doesn't let you do anything other than numbers. So we're just doing like each episode, even though it's 2 a week, is like 48 and then 49. So really we'll be at a year around like episode 55 or so. But we're pretty much right there.
So technically this was episode 49.
So this is week 49?
This is week 49.
Okay, but this is really episode 51.
50 and 51.
Okay, so 50 is the Wednesday and 51. Okay. See, it's getting complicated quick, folks. But so basically...
So welcome to week 49.
49. So 3 weeks from now will be our year. We should do something different for the year. Just change it up a little bit. We can come up with that, obviously, but do something a little fun.
Yeah.
We like to have fun around here.
We do like to have fun around here.
Yeah. So we went completely off the rails, but as far as Little Rascals go, is there anything else you want to talk about that movie?
What line do you remember the most?
It's probably the line I remember the most before I watched it again, because it's been a couple years, is definitely the "Quick, what's the number for 911?" That one's up there, and then also another really memorable one was at the bank. When he's like, "What's your number?" He's like, 7. Try 8. That line comes to mind. What about you?
Probably those. And then in the clouds parted, and God said,
I hate you, Alfalfa. That's a great one too. And I also remembered, shockingly, you know how my memory is not the best with some things, but then weirdly good with other things. I almost remembered word for word what he said in the letter, the fake letter that he writes.
Yeah.
It's like, dear Darla, I hate your stinking guts. I remembered that.
You're
really
scum
well.
Between
yeah, you're
my
scum
toes.
beneath my toes. Yeah, so I was like, that was weird that I remembered that. But there's a lot of memorable lines in this movie. I forgot the wood one, which is pretty good. You know the saying, wood doesn't grow on trees. Yeah. I forgot that line, but that's classic.
It's funny too, because he's like, give us all the wood you can for all this, and he like just brings a little like sample out.
Yeah.
Like, paper or plastic.
Yeah. So funny. Yeah, because it's like, doesn't he just give him like pocket change that he has? Yeah. $450
for lumber?
Yeah.
Where are we gonna get that kind of moolah?
Yeah. It's funny because I'm really glad we picked this movie because it was fun to watch again. And it's interesting because it's so short, so I knew it wouldn't give us a lot to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But in the time it does have, it utilizes it like super, like very well. You know what I mean? So it was an interesting one to pick for the show, but I'm really glad we picked it. And it was good to go back because I watched this movie. You know when you're a little kid and you kind of just watch movies on repeat all the time? It was like Little Rascals, The Green Mile. Not The Green Mile. No, that's way too dark for a kid. The Big Green. The soccer movie.
Mm-hmm.
The Disney soccer movie. Much different movie than The Green Mile. Significantly.
He said that, I was like, as a kid.
4-year-old me was crazy. No, and then like Spy Kids 2. Not even Spy Kids 1. For some reason, Spy Kids 2, Lost Island.
Yeah.
Me and my sister watched that.
It is the Lost Island.
Yeah, me and my sister watched that almost on repeat with Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
Dude,
and Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, dude. He's also in Pulp Fiction for like 5 seconds because he's the waiter when they go to dinner. Doesn't look like him, but it's him.
Huh.
When they go to dinner and he's like, how do you want your steak? Bloody as hell or burnt to a crisp? That's Steve Buscemi.
Oh.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
You only see him for like 30 seconds. I never even realized that until I was watching it one time with Ryan Johnson. And he just like all couchy.
Stopped in on Sunday.
Oh, did he really? That's cool.
We only had 2 tubs of chicken at 6 o'clock.
Oh, so he brought you guys some chicken? That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one time we were watching it when I lived with him, and he was like, "Isn't that crazy? That's Steve Buscemi?" And I was like squinting, and I was like, "Oh yeah, dude, it's crazy." I googled it. I was like, "Oh, that is Steve Buscemi," but I acted like I knew who. I was like, "Oh yeah, dude, you never knew that, bro? It's crazy." But yeah, it's Steve Buscemi, which is pretty cool. We could talk about that again next week.
Yeah.
What I want to do too, I don't want us to forget. I want us to compare the difference in movies because although they're completely different movies, they came out in the same year. So just imagine like going to the theaters and seeing Little Rascals, if that ever even was in theaters.
I'm sure it was.
And then Pulp Fiction.
You act like the movie theater hasn't been around.
Well, no, that's not. No. I'm just wondering because there's a lot of like really good straight-to-TV movies, and given how short it is, I wonder if it was a straight-to-TV.
I could see that.
I know my grandma had it on VHS, and that's how I watched it growing up.
On VHS.
What's up, dude? I probably have it somewhere because I still have like, the VHS collection somewhere, and I bet you that's in there.
My parents have one of those like DVD, VHS like.
Oh, nice! Got
combo.
both of them. Oh, the dual.
The dual.
Fancy, dude. I don't even think, and in fact, we do not have a VHS player. I bet you my grandma does, but we don't have one, which is sad. But I know I have Titanic also on VHS.
I do too.
Which is funny because I think I have Titanic on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and digital. Got it all covered, just in case. You never know, Cam. You never know.
We gotta do Titanic.
That's a 90s movie.
That's 97.
97. We should do... We can just pre-book it. Let's pre-book it now. Let's get it in the schedule. Let's do Pulp Fiction next week.
Okay.
Following week, let's do Titanic.
Okay.
Holy shit. We could do... Honestly, we could do a whole episode of Titanic because it's a 4-hour movie.
3 hours 32 minutes.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
What's longer, Titanic or any of the extended editions of Lord of the Rings?
Extended editions of Lord of the Rings. They're all 4 hours.
It was about 4 hours, yeah.
Also, Zack Snyder cut of Justice League is 4 hours. So
remember how we were talking, I think it was on the last episode. We'll give you a little update before we leave, but we will talk to you about why we missed last week. But yeah, going back to the Snyder cut, you were telling me to watch it. I don't know if I'm going to watch it.
Okay.
It's so much time to devote. I don't know. We got Core to watch. I got this new movie to watch that you were telling me about.
Oh yeah, Mitchell's versus the Machines.
Mitchell's versus the Machines. Okay.
It's awesome.
Okay. Oh, you watched it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I'll check it out. New animated movie on Netflix.
Same producers that did Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse.
See, that's why I'm all about it. And I love a good animated movie.
Mm-hmm.
I still have to watch Soul.
Yeah, that's good too.
This is why I can't do Snyder Cut. You know what, Zack Snyder, get out of here. Make better movies, and I'll watch your stuff.
He makes great movies.
Man of Steel is really good. I really liked Watchmen, and I really liked 300.
I told you.
Watchmen is legit still, besides like Dark Knight, one of my absolute favorite. It's not about heroes, but it is kind of about heroes.
Yeah.
But it's one of my favorite comic book movies. Spider-Verse is up there too. God, Far From Home's up there too. There's a lot of good ones, man. Come on, Thor's up there. Come on now.
Ragnarok, not.
No, yeah, Thor Ragnarok, and then I'm assuming Blood and Thunder. Got it right that time. I'm assuming that's gonna be really good too. But yeah, we missed last week because we had finals. So Cam texted me and he's like, I don't know if I can record this week. And honestly, when I got that text, I was like, oh, thank God. because it was coming up right in the middle of the week when we both had a bunch of stuff due. But now both of our semesters are done. We are officially into summer. Mm-hmm. Cam is being responsible and taking summer classes. I'm being irresponsible and doing nothing with my life and loving every second of it until school starts in the fall.
Yeah. It's just 2 online. Should be fine.
Yeah. You're like the Cardinals and I'm the Rockies. Because you've got 2 and I've got 0. Sorry.
That's good.
I had to do it. But yeah, so hopefully this summer won't be too crazy, so we shouldn't have any unforeseen missed episodes throughout the summer. We might have to edit this is so far away, but when the fall shows up and we're both into the full swing of school again, we might have to edit the schedule. Mm-hmm. But for now, we're thinking the Wednesday, Friday is going to be the schedule throughout the rest of the summer.
Yep.
Beautiful.
And yeah, if you guys have not yet subscribed, you can do so over here. It really helps us out. And if you want to watch our most recent video, you can do so here.
Beautiful.